Nuclear reactor. Nuclear reaction is a fast process and a very huge amount of energy is released in a short interval of time. The device used to perform the nuclear reaction in a controlled way is called nuclear reactor. For controlling the nuclear reaction, neutron-absorbing substances are used and they are called control rods. Cadmium rods or steel rods with boron are used for this purpose. Initially, the control rods are pushed well inside the core, region at which the fissionable substance is placed, so that a large number of neutrons are absorbed and there is no chain reaction. The control rods are gradually pulled out till the reactor becomes critical. If the temperature rises above a certain limit, control rods are pushed into the reactor in order to control the rate of fission. The heat produced in the core is taken away by the coolant and is used to produce steam. The steam drives the turbine connected to a generator and electricity is produced. Nuclear core. The place where nuclear fission takes place is called nuclear core. In a nuclear reactor, uranium or plutonium is used as nuclear fuels. Naturally occurring uranium has very little uranium-235. It has to be first processed to increase the percentage of fissionable uranium. This process is called enrichment of uranium. When a slow-moving neutron enters uranium nucleus, it splits into barium, krypton and 3 neutrons and a large amount of energy is released. These 3 neutrons may cause further fission. Thus, the reaction becomes uncontrollable. Moderators. The material used in a nuclear reactor to slow down the fast neutrons emitted in fission reaction is called moderator. Example: beryllium, graphite, heavy water, etc. These are used around the uranium rods in a nuclear reactor to moderate or slow down the speed of fast-moving neutrons, so that the chain reaction of nuclear fission is prevented from dying out. When the fast-moving neutrons collide with the graphite nucleus, they lose some of their kinetic energy and get slowed down, so that they become slow neutrons. Control rods. Control rods are rods made of neutron-absorbing materials, used in a nuclear reactor to control the rate of fission. They are inserted in the holes of a reactor core up to a desirable length. As a result of it, the desired number of neutrons are absorbed, and only a limited number of neutrons are left to produce fission. These rods can be adjusted from outside the reactor in order to control the chain reaction. Examples of control rods are cadmium and boron rods. The rods are adjusted in such a way that only a proper number of neutrons are left behind to sustain the fission reaction in a critical state. Coolants. The substance used to absorb the heat produced in a nuclear core and transfer it to surroundings is called coolant. Example: carbon dioxide, helium, liquid sodium, heavy water, etc. In general, some pipes are embedded in the reactor through which some coolant is circulated to take out the heat produced. Because of the high pressure, the water, coolant, does not boil even at this temperature. The coolant liberates heat to water at normal pressure in a vessel called heat exchanger. The water in the heat exchanger is converted into steam as its temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius. The steam rotates the blade of a steam turbine.